test. Well, welcome, folks, to the GNCC 2020 Mixed Championship. This is Wayne Anderson. We'll be commentating today on a great matchup. It's the two undefeated teams after 2 rounds of play yesterday. Team Pulley against Team Casper. They're both at 2-0. We have Team Mooney at 1-0. Team Shaw at 1-1. Team Krume at 0-1. And then Team Prohashka and Marashulo, both at 0-2. So Team Casper won the hammer. 2 very nice LSD throws, both fully in the 4-foot, giving them the right to last rock here in the first end. So that's Jason Scott throwing the first rock, putting a nice centerline guard up here in the first end. Jason curling out of the Rochester club, as are most of his teammates, except for Emily Pinelli, who I think yesterday I was calling Emily Anderson. Happens to be my daughter. I'll try not to be too biased here in the broadcasting. Susan Dutt being asked to come around the center guard. Susan curling out of the Philadelphia Curling Club, someone that I've seen out at junior practices since about the age of 6 in Philly. And a very nice first shot. Jason being asked to duplicate that. Around corner freeze on. Very fast ice here this morning. About half a second better, faster than yesterday. For about 15 seconds hog to hog. Really nice ice. Sweeper's coming in, trying to carve it in a little bit. Didn't quite get on the corner of it, so Susan will be asked to hit and roll to the back quad. Got a game of youth versus experience here today. The youth all fresh off of junior nationals, where they all did very well. And 3 of the 4 of them just back from Spokane, Washington, where they were in either the women's or the men's nationals. Nice hit and lively rocks rolling out, but good shot by Susan. All right, Emily Pinelli being asked to come around and corner freeze.
Nice shot, Susan.
Emily curls out of the Philadelphia Curling Club. Great smooth sweeping ice. It really is a sheet. When you get the 15-second ice, you want to put it out there and involve your sleepers and sweepers. This one, though, just going to wreck just a little bit on that one. Ticks it on its way by. Weight was nice. Slips into the top 12 on the top right. So Danny Casper has pretty much all of the GNCC rinks represented here on his team. Danny plays out of Ardsley. Sydney Mullaney throwing third, curls out of Broomstone. And this is Eli Clausen curling out of Potomac. And then, as I said, Susan Dutt curling out of Philadelphia. And push this one to get the inside roll just slightly.
Well, that sounds like, okay, I get nervous because I'm like, oh, it's going to slow down.
Caitlin indicating that she wouldn't mind both red rocks disappearing on this throw. Just throwing normal weight at this. In fact, even a control type looking shot, hoping to save the shooter. Not the one, but it looks like it's right on the other one. All right, mission accomplished. I think it would have been pretty hard to save the shooter if you're going to make the double. And Danny right away says, okay, let's move on and just to the second end, and asking Eli to peel off the top guard. Mission accomplished there as well. So I'm glad to see at least we had that center line guard to start off the end. Gave us a little more to talk about in terms of the rocks versus lots of first ends where the first rock was in the house, and from then on all you see is hit, 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 hit. So, but that's probably what we're going to see from the rest of these rocks. This is Jeff Pulley, again curling out of Rochester here. Jeff's been curling for 15 years. Sydney Mullaney, as I said, out of Broomstones. Sydney has been to all sorts of national championships this last year. I don't think I can list them all, but I know there was at least 3 of them. Hitting a roll, and sometimes it's critical to save your shooter. In an end like this where you're looking for a blank, it's really doesn't hurt to roll out. I don't think the probability of getting a flash on an open hit by Team Pulley is very high, so the fact that it rolls out isn't a big deal. Other times, very much a big deal when you roll out. All right, Jeff doing the job, putting it in play. Sydney once again throwing the out-turn hit. This is a round-robin format of 7 teams, so every team gets to play 6 games here. And if there's a clear leader after the round robin, that will be the end of the competition, and that team will represent the GNCC at the 2020 Mixed National Championships to be held in Chaska, Minnesota. Beautiful curling club. That's where the High Performance National curlers do their practicing. Certainly, if you're in the Minneapolis area, it's and you're a curler, it's a worthwhile trip to make it out there. They have a nice restaurant that you can get a table across all 4 sheets and watch curling. I was at the airport one time, and the person taking my ticket was asking what I was in Minneapolis for, and I said, I was there to see curling, and she said, have you ever been to the Chaska Curling Club? They have a great restaurant there, and you can watch this sport called curling. So curling is getting to be known in the U.S. That's one of the great things about the Olympics, having expanded the interest of viewers here in the United States. As we continue to see teams making open hits, as I said, one would expect that at this level. These 2 teams, both very proficient. So Danny would like this rock to stay in the rings, just on the off chance he might get a miss out of the opposition, but the next one will be one that he will be hoping to roll out on. There's Eli going to work, and that's certainly an advantage of the youth here in terms of sweeping. And I had the pleasure of coaching Eli at the men's nationals and also assisting at the junior nationals when he was a member of Team Senate. They won the bronze medal at men's nationals just last week. I've been corrected that Sydney was sweeping that rock. I'll have to have my eyes checked here. All right. Kate and Pulley. I like this weight that they're all throwing on this. Just a nice control weight. Don't need to do any more than that to move the rock from play. All right, but you're not gonna see control weight on this one. Danny's going to move the rock down the sheet at a rather quick pace. Let's take a peek at what hog-to-hog time he gets on this. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something at 7 seconds. Going hard, trying to get the roll out. 7.15 seconds. And there you go. Mission accomplished. Blank end. So well played first end. I'll shout out again to Steve Miller. The Pulley team was happy to find out that you were watching their game yesterday that was being streamed. Good friend from college days. So Jason Scott again, curling 14 years, all of it here at Rochester. And I say that sort of surprisingly because he grew up in Canada, in Ontario, but in those years did not take up the sport of curling. It wasn't until he came down near the Rochester that he picked it up. And doing a great job, throwing up another rock, splitting the center line. Nice 3-guard. Similar to last end, Danny asking Susan to come around that rock to the top 4. Sweeper's going hard on it. And all the King's horses were not going to get that one into the rings. Jason being asked to come around. Sort of staggered guards now. A little bit of an advantage for the pulley ring. Sweeper's only getting on that about 3/4 the way down the sheet. And, just a little late getting on it. Came down a little faster than they thought. But 3 rocks now in the free guard zone. All within the 4-foot. Danny forced to go to the out turn for the first time coming this way. Sweeper's just cleaning it, now going a little harder. They like it. I really like that. One of the stats that I keep in coaching juniors lots of times is I'll rate the sweeping from 0 to 4 in terms of how much sweeping they do. Obviously 0 being no sweeping and 4 being end-to-end sweeping. Really looking for a 2 to 3 sweeping, and that was a nice 2 sweeping where they were cleaning it, and then about just a little over halfway they started going a little bit hard. And able to control both the line and the distance that way. And not surprisingly, when teams are getting scores of 2 and 3 on sweeping, their percentage in terms of shots made on draws is a whole lot higher. Emily Pinelli being asked to come around and corner freeze again, trying to get a force going on this end. The sweeper's just cleaning. And just a little rub off it. I think it'll be available, but nice weight. But again, just a little heavy because the sweepers were not able to put their brooms down and try and carve that into freeze on the rock. Eli playing second here on Danny's team, also played second on the junior and men's teams that he was playing on. Ends up tapping in the pulley guard that Jason had thrown up on his first rock. Down, I think, to actually tap this rock, but not to remove it. That's a nice shot, actually. I think by the way the sweeping went, they were just asking to freeze it. And of course, the objective of a team is not always to score. In this case, Pulley's calling a strategy here to force Danny to take one in this end. If the opportunity should arise where she could remove that rock at a later point in time, she'd be happy to do so, but very happy to get the hammer back and only give up one. And right now Danny's taking a look at things on how he's going to get more than 1 point out of this end. And also, the way those rocks being frozen on top of the red one, he has to be a little worried that his opposition doesn't run back that blue rock on the out front of the house into the ones in the house and all of a sudden be line 4. So I think if I was him, I think I would try and reshuffle the deck here a little bit. And indeed, that's what he is. So blue's going to probably end up counting after this. You might say, well, why in the world would you, in your shot rock, call something that's going to eliminate it? But he's concerned that, just what I said, later on, Pulley has the opportunity to easily remove that red rock from play. So Eli going peel weight here. Just trying to clip it. He might get both blues. Ooh. Didn't quite get it where he wanted, but much improved situation for them. Caitlin debating 2 shots, hitting the red that was just thrown, going on top of the blue, or drawing on top again, and is elected to just draw on top again. And again, that's, if you're looking to force, that's probably the best call. It looks good. Sweepers just hard cleaning. Now Emily trying to carve it in, put it on right on top. All right, they came to play. Both teams throwing really well. I hope we continue to see this for all 8 ends. Danny faced with a similar situation as last time. That to hit anything, he's going to see a red rock disappear. Looking at the possibility of just juggling the rocks, not losing any of his red rocks. But with that ice, he's going to be throwing more weight than that, I think. It's still not big weight, but he's going to rearrange the deck here a little bit. We'll see where things all settle out when the dust is done. This is just nice board weight here. Just rubbed off the blue. Not bad. Caitlin now has the ability, she could actually make all 3 rocks disappear. So we're going to see normal takeout here from Jeff, I would say, at least normal. And that's indeed what he's getting. Sweeper's going on it, now backing off. Line must be close. Looks a little wide for what they want. Yeah, just needed to catch a little bit more of it. All right, so Danny's idea of rearranging the deck has worked out. Although that red guard is making it difficult for him to throw weight at and get both of these rocks, I think. He's looking at possibly running the red back into it. In fact, I think that's what he's settling on, yep. I like this call. He's got hammer. It's early in the game. And even if the run back doesn't work, if the run back doesn't work, it's going to be opened up for his next shot. But it's close. It's close. Pretty good result. Ends up with a rock in the 8-foot behind a corner guard. And now it's Team Pulley that's worried about multiple scores. And so again, just looking back on, that's good skipping by Danny earlier there. He was counting that one. Team Pulley had frozen on top. And, some teams might have guarded to that and said, okay, we're scoring one. Let's not lose that. But really, if he had won it more than one, he now has the potential for it. He had to move those rocks around. So Caitlin going with the in-turn hit with that ice. Looks like probably controlled to normal. Caitlin trying to get back to mixed nationals for the 4th time. Just trying to control. Now they're going. Just a little, I think, a little softer than what was needed on that shot. The rocks do move very nicely from inside out. Now all of a sudden, after this shot, you could be looking at 3 reds in the house when it comes to Caitlin's last shot. Quite a change in just a matter of a few rocks here. Danny would probably love to get a fairly long roll over to his right as it's coming down from the thrower's perspective. And we're sweeping to try and get curls. So right now, I don't know whether the shooter's going to stay. So he did want to roll that way, just not that far, obviously. So Caitlin playing it smart here. She's got an open hit versus trying to do anything with the other rock. Giving up 2 to get the hammer back is an acceptable outcome. That's something coaching my juniors, I always suggest that they have an end plan. You should have a game plan, but you should also have an end plan. And when you don't have a hammer and it's early in the game like this, you're really going in to force the other team to take one is what you'd really like to do. And so that would be your goal, but also acceptable outcomes would be the team with hammer taking 2. And another acceptable outcome would be blanking the end. And obviously sort of the bonus territory would be to steal 1 or more. But an unacceptable outcome, something you really want to avoid, would be giving up more than 2 when you don't have hammer. And lots of times as you progress through the end, you have to switch from your goal, such as force the other team to take 1, to just making sure you don't end up with an unacceptable outcome. And switch to just sort of saying, okay, 2's acceptable, let's just get it, somehow find a couple of shots to force them to only get 2 as opposed to anything more than that. And forgetting about trying to keep them to 1 or to steal. So, good hit by Caitlin, and Danny coming down with electing to do the open hit on the second count rock here. Cleaning it. Looks like they have it. They're on and off on the sweeping. Nice end again by both teams. Got really good curling going on here this morning. Oh, they're looking at whether there's a biter over there or not. They might be using the biter bar to see. I didn't even, from my perspective, there's lots of weight underneath the rock. I thought it was out of play, but we'll see which team moves the rock. And I think Susan's elected to move it without using the biter bar, so I suspect it'll only be a count of 2. So this game is moving along a little faster than the other two sheets, both of whom have... well, actually, sheet 1 has completed the second end. The score isn't up yet. In the first end, it looks like Team Prohaska took 3. Well, I'll tell you what, I'd better check on which team's throwing which color over there. We'll be back to you with that score. Meanwhile, on our sheet, things progressing, things reversed now with Danny Casper trying to block up the middle and Team Pulley going to the wings with the corner guard. So Jason throwing 2 nice rocks. They got a 2 and a 3 corner guard. And Susan Dutt laid up a couple of rocks inside the 4-foot lines for Team Casper. Now Eli's about to throw. Again, they cannot hit those blue rocks at this point in time. The free guard zone rule. Well, they can't remove it from play, let's put it that way. Looks like he's just asking for another guard. Oh, they're sweeping it hard, so they're possibly he was asking for the tap based on that sweeping, which would make some sense. So Caitlin not happy with 3 rocks that close to the rings right on the center line. I call that boardwalk and park place in terms of value of property. If you can own that section of the sheet, you're in very good stead. So she's not going to let them stay there. Asking Emily to preferably hit and roll in behind those corners. Got the hit. Got the roll a little too far, but that's much improved now. Now Danny has to be a little worried that Team Pulley has the left side of the sheet fully blocked out front. If they can get a draw behind or a hit and roll behind, they've got lots of rocks there to hide behind. Going on the offensive here, asking Eli to come around that tight center guard. Coming up a little light on that one, but now has a 1 and a 3 guard inside the center line, something that they might be able to take advantage of later. Emily being asked to come around those corner guards I was talking about just a little bit ago. Sweepers indicating, well, now Jason's hopping on it. Jeff thought it was close. They may be going for line. Indeed, looks what they are going for. It's going to be ticking the guard. So the weight was fine. Just needed to sweep for line. And it's fully exposed there, fighting the top 4. So Team Casper may be the first team to get a rock behind those corner guards. It's possible, but not easy to hit and stay on the center line there. Eli being asked to sweep to try and push it towards the rock to make it go to the right. And what a great shot there. I love that weight that she was throwing on that. All right. Jeff being asked to get the hit and roll behind. Danny was not pursuing that. Given that he does not have hammer, he was trying to keep his rocks in the center. Maybe even have gotten a bit of an inside roll, but that would have been quite difficult. Cleaning. Jason trying to make the rock go right. Hits and rolls out. All right, we can expect Danny to come around those 2 guards now. He can come around either way. I like his selection to come this way. It's a little easier. Sydney Mullaney. Eli going to work on it. Now off. Line's good. Just slipping through the rings. All right, lots of times teams put the corner guards up and never have the opportunity to take advantage of them, but Jeff's being asked to do that right now. No rocks in the rings at this point in time, trying to come around the 3 corner guards on the left side of the sheet. Sweeper's going hard. Line's becoming a problem again. Oh, just got by. Beautiful shot. Perfect. Fans looking for cowbells to ring on that one. So, Danny's got a choice of 2 things here. He can come down and corner freeze on the shot just thrown, or come around the center guards. I think it looks like he's electing to sit on the corner guard. I like this. He can be shot on this. And even if it comes up a little light, Team Pulley still has to be concerned about it, that he doesn't come down and raise it into the blue on his next shot and roll into the center. So if he comes anywhere in the top 8 on that left side, it's going to be a nice shot. But his preference is to be shot rock, corner frozen on it. Sweepers like it. Eli going to work a little bit. Oh, this is going to be a great shot. Yeah. If the cowbells would be hard at work again if we had them here. That's a great shot. Very difficult now for Team Pulley to remove that red rock and have that back blue one count. All right, cowbells are alive. Team Pulley hoping to put the cowbells to use on this shot here. Sweepers going hard. Going hard. Looking a little light. Looking a little light. It's on the guard. However, it does open a port that, if given the opportunity, they may be able to go through. But Danny, if he can put another counter fully in the 8-foot, it'll take away any possibility of Pulley scoring more than one. All right, taking a look over at Sheet A, we do have Team Crumé up 4-0 after 2 ends of play over Team Prohaska. Crumé is 0-1 and Prohaska is 0-2 going into this game. All right, this is a big shot for Danny. He can really put a lot of pressure on him if he comes around to the top 4 on this one. The line is good. Just slipping slightly to behind the tee line. Would have been so much better if it could have stopped a couple of feet shorter, but still, very nice shot. Caitlin going for the straight draw to the button. That's the shot selected. And Team Marashulo up 3-0 over Team Mooney. And it's very unfortunate. Mark Mooney, work commitments stopped him from being here, and the rules do not allow substitutes to be called in mixed curling play downs. So they're going with 3 players and minus their skip. And they managed to pull out a win yesterday in the one game they played. And so Mooney at 1-0, Prohaska at Marashulo at 0-2, but on the lead right now. And here, this shot just slips by the guard. Is it going to stop, though? I don't think so. Slipping through, and what a turnaround. 2 great shots by Danny Casper. Turned that end right around. Scoring 2 and going up 4-0 after 3 ends of play. Casper over Pulley. right. For those of you at home here, it's always nice to sort of guess whether it's going to happen with the lead rocks. And no surprise, if you said Danny's going to call it into the top 4 on the center line rather than out front, you'd be absolutely correct. Having a lead, he'd be very happy if Caitlin was decided to hit the rock if they go into the top 4. But I am positive Caitlin would not be hitting it. So into the top 12. Yes, Sydney slipped on her footing out there. That's what the applause was for on that shot. And Caitlin going with the corner guard as I would have expected. If that rock had been biting the button on the center line, the other possibility teams do use, and I like it, is to use the delayed corner with the 5 rock rule. You can hit that one, roll to the back quad, and Danny with a 4-point lead would hit it, and then his rock is going to be in the back quad at best case, and then you can safely put up your corner guard, and you don't have the rock on the top button plus another guard in front of it when it comes to your lead second shot. Here is Danny's asking for another rock to come into the house. Wanting to tap his rock forward. Susan does tap it a little bit on the side. Caitlin asking now for a second corner on the same side, which when the first guard was just over the hog line, a 1 guard, this is pretty standard play to put up a 3 guard on the same side. Because the 1 guard, the other team could come around it with backline weight and remove it even if you did fully bury a rock behind that guard. Going hard. Doesn't get behind the 1 guard, but it is a nice 2 guard on the outside the 4-foot line on the same side. Danny still not allowed to hit those rocks. Up a little light. I think he was looking to come around and to cut off the draw around those corner guards. This is another call that I really like that Caitlin's using here. Yes, she would like to, she's asking to tap and roll behind the corner, but she does not want to remove the red rock. Down 4 points, even though we're still fairly early in the game, we're approaching the midpoint, 4th end. This is an 8-end game, by the way, folks. Unlike some 10-end games in other nationally playdown events. It's going to get the hit. Not much of a roll, though. A little hotter than she wanted. She was just looking for a tap, but it also would have probably over-curled if it had less weight. Stanley looking to come down, and basically anything that is blue in the house, he's going to try and remove from here on in. Asking Eli to do the in-turn hit. Sydney going hard. They do curl that way. And probably that's the biggest, the spot on the sheet that has the most curl of anywhere. The going away from the center line on the in-turn coming this way. Emily coming around the corners. That's a nice shot. Yes, well, Danny will just continue to attempt to remove blue rocks. He'd like to just hit and stay right there. That would give him the opportunity to get rid of the blue rock on his next one by hitting his shooter that's coming down the sheet right now from Sydney. Again, just going hard on this again. Rocks just go so very hard here. Oh, just got by. Oh, isn't that a lovely shot? Cowbells into action. And I think that was even a fan here supporting Team Pulley, throwing the cowbell for that shot. Obviously cowbell worthy. Caitlin looking at hitting and rolling. I like this call. The other thing she was looking at was tapping the other one back, and that's what she's elected to go with. Tapping it back, make this shot. This is a very nice one as well, especially get to the inside of that if at all. And as I said, the rocks do curl hard. This one's got a little more weight, I think, than she was looking for, though. It's gotta come down, gotta curl. Just misses and slips through the house. Danny torn between trying to figure out a way to eventually get that blue rock out versus maybe put another one in the house for shot rock behind his rock biting the 8-foot there and then near inside the 4-foot line. I like this call. He's already counting 2, and he's looking at putting another one in to lie 3. So Caitlin would have to remove several rocks before that blue one ever became a scoring rock. Sweepers on and off. Now they're on. Going to come up as a 3 guard in front of the rock. Not really where they want it with a 4-point lead. Caitlin trying hard to decide whether she wants to come around the rocks inside the 4-foot line or around the corner again, and she's elected to, well, she was going to elect to come around the rocks in the 4-foot. Over on sheet 2, Team Marashulo stole a point in the 3rd end to go up 4-0 over Team Mooney. Rocks coming down the sheet now from Jeff, looking for the in-turn draw around to the 4-foot, but the sweepers are backing away from it. It's slipping through to the back 12 and still being out-counted by both red rocks in the house. So Danny's going to try the same shot. as the last two attempts. Trying to come around two red rocks right into the 4-foot.
There you go. I love it.
And over in sheet 1, Team Crumay stole another point to go up 5-0 over Team Prohaska. Danny shot, Sydney on and off, sweeping really just for line here, and it just ticks the rock, but lies 3. Does give an opportunity for Caitlin to hit and roll in behind the two rocks that everyone's been trying to draw around for the last 3 shots. Yes, I want to thank those of you who are watching this rather than the Scotties going on right now on TV. All right, a big shot here from Caitlin coming up. Needs the hit and roll. She's taken a couple of feet of ice, which says that she's really just nice sort of back line to hack weight here. Just rolling off the shot rock. Waits close. Waits close. She actually has elected to go the straight draw. Straight draw, and she does it. And the imaginary cowbells are ringing here. Oh, sorry. There's the real thing, folks. The real thing. Now, the trouble with going with the straight draw rather than the hit and the roll is that it does leave a slash for the red one here. And I think you're going to see Danny throw his 7-second peel here again. We'll time it. He came within 0.1 of a second the last time I predicted his weight that he was throwing. We'll see what he's going to throw this time. The nice thing about throwing this weight, if you can throw it with precision, is he puts the broom right where he wants to hit the rock. Rock's underway. It's looking like it's at least a 7-second. Might be a 6.8. Oh, 6.9. Oh. So, gets back to it's not how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it. And in this case, the rock just ran maybe a little straighter than he anticipated or set it out. I can't really tell from where I'm sitting. But just a matter of an inch on the wrong side. So Caitlin trying to throw the same shot twice here. She does have the ability to roll off that red one and count too. sweepers. Going hard on it. Weight looks good though. The trouble is, got by the one. Oh, it was just a matter of line. The weight was perfect, just a little narrow. So a score of 1 for Team Pulley to take it 4-1 for Team Casper when they go to the halftime break here.
He's looking up cowbells. These little ones in it. And they're good for indoor business. It's cheap when you got them growing. That's it.
Yes.
Well, welcome back to the 2020 GNCC Mixed Championship. Again, this is Wayne Anderson commentating here on the game of the two undefeated teams, Team Casper against Team Pulley, both at 2-0 on top of the leaderboard. Do have an update on Sheet 1. We do have Team Prohaska scoring their first point of the game. They are now down 5-1 halfway through the game against Team Prohaska. And we'll have to wait for the score to go up on Sheet 2 to find out what happened there. But we're off and running. Jason being asked to put up a center guard. Obviously down 4-1 here. Caitlin is not looking for anything in the house at this stage. And the sweeper's just doing a nice amount. Finishing it off, bringing it to the center line. Lead rock and play. Eric Clausen, dad of Eli, texted me during the game here. He says he's not watching the Scotties. The alternate viewing for him is the Minnesota mixed playdowns. And he's hoping that once again he'll be in that awkward position of watching his two sons compete against each other. If Eli advances from here, he's hoping that Hunter Clausen will advance in the Minnesota. That's a tough field of players, teams out there. Hunter is teamed up with two of Arlene and my daughters, Sarah and Taylor, and they've also picked up one of the juniors' teammates from Eli, Ethan Sampson, to play on the team as well. So that's a nice, strong team. They're hoping to do well in Minnesota. Eric was having to watch his two boys go at it at men's nationals last week in Spokane. Never nice, but you do always come away with a winner whenever they play each other. So Danny countered the center line guard by going back quad. And Caitlin asked Jason to put up another center guard, so she has a 1 and a 3 guard on the center line. Not quite in a straight in a row, but nicely done, both touching the center line. Susan being asked to come around both of those now. Sweeper's staying close. Means the weight is probably close. Sydney trying to make it curl in behind a little bit. Nice shot by Susan Dutt. Caitlin asking to come around to the 4-foot by Emily Pinelli. Sweeper's going to work right away. Caitlin indicating let's settle for a 2 guard here on the center line. And certainly that's the pro side of what you want here. You're down 3. You're starting the second half of the game. You cannot afford to be heavy. So another center line guard doesn't hurt at all. Danny Ness asking Eli to remove some of these center line guards. This is a shot that Eli is always happy to throw. Bang, bang, 2 of them gone. Does remove the red rock in the back of the house, but Danny's not concerned about that. It's those 2 blocks, blue rocks out front that he's very happy to see gone, plus the shooter. And again, Eli throwing a sub-7 second peel there to rearrange the deck out front. Emily being asked now to put a guard back in place. Sweeper's going hard. Looking for a one guard. I think Jason and Jeff just might... no. Oh, just comes up short. And now the last remaining guard will be disappearing here if Eli has his way. I like this peel weight he's throwing at this one here. That was 6.8, somewhere in the 7 second. Didn't have to throw it that hard. Now Eric may correct my times watching them on the screen. My eyes are not as sharp as they used to be looking down at the far hog line. All right, Jeff being asked to put a center line guard back up. The only rock in play right now being a red one in the top 8 foot. At this point, Team Pulley would be very happy to come away forcing their opposition to take 1 point. Danny was considering the possibility of hitting and rolling for a while, but I think he settled on just peeling the blue out, and I like this a lot better. Well, we got the hit and the roll right in front. Caitlin now electing to come around both red rocks. This is a shot that is being dictated by the scoreboard, being down 4-1 in the second half. If this was a closer score, and in the first half, I'm pretty sure without hammer, Caitlin would be running both of those red rocks off at this point in time. But this is the right call, given the scoreboard in the end. Looking for it to curl up a bit. Taking it back, trying to get it behind, but staying still pretty well, mostly exposed. Again, Danny just looking for this rock to disappear. And it looks like it hung around in the back ring, so the risk reward of trying to score here is getting a little bit pricier for Team Pulley right now. So with skip rocks to come, Team Casper, line 3. So the fourth end scoreboard score did go up, and Team Marashulo, after starting off 0-2, are now up 4-0 over Team Mooney, or Team Mooney Less, as they have become known here, with Mark not being here to help them out. All right, a big shot here for Caitlin. It's sort of going all in here, trying to draw around the two centerline Red Rocks. I think they're going for line. It's not going to get by them, but it may corner freeze on the shot rock, which would be an acceptable outcome. Yeah, corner froze on it. So Danny was looking at two choices, coming around in line 2 or running his red one into the blue. The scoreboard the way it is, I like running the red one into the blue. Open up, take away. He doesn't need to score multiple points here. He just needs to make sure that Team Pulley does not score. He's electing to come around. All right, well, here comes Danny, drawing to the 4-foot. He has two strong sweepers. He'll be wanting to put them to use on this. Just cleaning at this point in time. Still cleaning. Line's getting tighter. Line's getting tighter. Will he get by? Ooh, just rubbed. Just rubbed. All right. Team Pulley has the opportunity now to hit and roll just a bit. And those staggered guards will not make it possible for Team Casper to get them out. Mind you, it's going to have to be pretty soft weight. There's not a lot of air between the blue rock they just threw and this shot rock. Ooh, we have a significant update over on sheet A. Team Crumay putting a 5 spot on the board to go up 10-1 over Team Prohaska. That's a big one. All right, talk about big ones. Here's a big shot here for Caitlin. All right, the sweeper's just cleaning. It's got a little more weight than some of her other ones. Now they're going for line. Uh-oh, that just jumped. That just picked. That's a tough break. Oh. They were just cleaning, then all of a sudden the rock just jumped. So Danny has a free draw for 2 here. think they're briefly discussing hitting the live 4, but I think they feel that the safe shot, just drawing another one in to take 2, go up with a 5-point lead with 3 ends to go is pretty nice. Sweepers just dusting. Now Caitlin's trying to make it curl a bit. Oh, sorry, Sydney. Looks like 2. All right, Sydney heading to the scoreboard, and indeed, as we expected, it is a deuce going up on the board, so a commanding 6-1 lead after 5 ends of play in this 8-end game between the 2 undefeated teams. And again, there is no playoff after the round robin. The only thing that could possibly extend play is if the 2 teams are tied, 2 or more teams are tied. After the round robin, they would have a tiebreaker game. Danny asking Susan to come into the rings, and indeed that's where she goes. Without working her sweepers too hard, she comes exactly where he wanted it. And Caitlin asking for the corner guard. All right. Throwing up a 1 guard on the corner. And I suspect the next shot will be a 3 guard on the same side. But for now, Danny asking Susan, I didn't see the signal, but I suspect to come right into the house on top of the other one. Yes, indeed, that's where he's tapping his broom. And again, perfect weight without any effort really by the sweepers. Susan putting 2 beautiful rocks, right exactly where they want it. Jason being asked to put a 3 guard on the same side as his last one. So no one working their sweepers too hard right now. A little bit of sweeping at the end here. Well, you couldn't ask for 4 better lead rocks than those. Both these putting up exactly what they were asked for. 2 perfect rocks in the rings on the center line for the team without hammer, and the team with hammer, 2 nice guards, a 1 and a 3 just outside the 4-foot line. Danny asking Eli to cap these 2 nice rocks that Susan threw. I just heard a rumor that a 5-ender has been scored by Team Mooniless. They have tied it up at 5-all after 5 ends, after being down 5-0 to score 5.
That's fine. That blocks their draw.
And that's not something you see every day. So Eli, indeed capping it. And this is a position I tell my team I really never like to be in. Rock biting button, rock top 8, 2 guard, blocking it all off. It's going to take a couple of shots for Team Pulley to even be in a scoring position here. So just a nice half-weight shot coming down by Emily. Wanting to get by the top guard. The weight's nice. All right, moved them around, staggered those 2 guards in the house. Great shot. Up, cowbell going to work for Team Pulley. And Danny, rather than going on the defense here, is just saying, hey, it's going to take them a lot of rocks to try and get multiple scores here, so he's just putting up a guard. And that is the problem with letting the team get 2 scoring rocks plus a guard out front all on the center line. You're going to be chasing for a while. Eli just getting over the hog line, blocking the promote on the blue. Nicely done. Caitlin indicating a backline weight shot from Emily. Again, just trying to miss that red center line guard. Now she's increasing it now to hack. Trying to get just by the red guard and move those rocks, one of the rocks off the button. Pretty high on the degree of difficulty scale. Jason going to work for line. Going to work for line. It's getting close. Oh, just by the guard. Well done, Jason. And great weight. Moves the rock back. Cowbell's going crazy. And well done. There's, although red still looks like counting 2, blue has accumulated 2 rocks in the house. Both be behind some protection. Caitlin hoping to imitate Team Mooney and put a 5 spot on the board here. That's going to take some work, but hey, that's what dreams are about. All right, looks like Danny's asking to either try and remove the blue rock in the house or at least take off one of the corners here. Well, not sure the weight call. Looks like he's just trying to block the hole. He's just throwing a guard. All right, Caitlin asking for a run back on that 2 guard. Unfortunately, it is an opposition rock that's running back, but it's about the best way to get things cleared up in the center and give her a scoring opportunity. No sweeping yet. It's close, though. It's close. Oh, well, it does moves the blue rock out of the way. Pretty good result. Guard's gone. Didn't knock the blue rock out. Just moved it to the side. Looks like Danny's going to ask to put a guard back in the middle again. All right, well, Sydney certainly does block up the hole. Caitlin looking for a run back again. Or, I don't know, from my angle, I can't tell whether there's a hole. There is they say there is a hole, and with that broom where it is, that was my feeling. She must be trying to go through the hole. There's not much more than a rock to go through there. Sweeping on for line. I think it's, but watch, maybe it'll squirt, bang, bang, and no. All right, peeled the one rock off. Daniel will go back to work, guarding it up again, I suspect, given the previous shots. Sweeper's just watching it finish off here. Not bad, but I think Caitlin's going to be able to come around with tap weight here. The rocks do move this way, so there's a possibility of making it. Again, it's going to be a high degree of difficulty finesse shot. Rocks underway. Nothing from the sweepers yet. Now Emily's going to work. Just lightly though, on and off. It's close. According to the sweepers, it's close. Just missing the guard. Jason trying to move it now. Oh, that is a winner. Cowbell crazy. All right, all of a sudden, we have some blue scoring opportunity here. Timeout being called. They are on the clock here, by the way. They have 30 minutes to play their 8 ends, 30 minutes of thinking time. And how is the time over there? What? 8 minutes and 5 seconds plus their 1 minute timeout here. So they're pretty well through the 6. They've got plenty of time, but given that they were going to spend a little time on this shot, it makes sense. Well, Eric Clausen is asking what I would suggest here, but I'm going to put it right back at him. Eric, what would you suggest here? See, that's the bad part about coaching. You go out and you give your opinion to the team, and then of course they have to execute on what's called. And you can look like a hero if they make the shot, or look pretty stupid if it's not executed. Can folks even tell here? Is it blue line 2 at this point in time? It's close. Folks think that blue may be line 2. Yeah, I think, yes, they say definitely blue is line 2 at this point in time. And Eric is coming back with what I was talking about before. Sometimes your end plan changes. His comment is try and find a shot to limit Pulley to only scoring 2 points. And their goal in here was to force them to take 1, but at this point in time, you're really looking at trying to force them to avoid the unacceptable outcome is where he's coming back from. So obviously one choice here would be to come around and try and draw in and freeze on the back one. But that would be if you're trying to score. All right. The downside of that one, you don't get totally frozen. Pulley could have a hit and double the Reds out and take 4. So I think Eric would be sort of saying, hey, just cut off the path to the 4-foot here so that Pulley doesn't have an opportunity to get another biter in there on the 4-foot. We'll see what they ended up. They're taking lots of ice. I suspect this is the route that they're going. Oh, they're sweeping it for distance. They may be trying to come in. Well, they're backing off now. Yeah, they're going for a well-coached team. They're saying, hey, we're just going to try and stop you from getting more than 2. But Pulley does have a chance to still get around that. It over-curled a bit. And they tap that one back 6 inches, and all of a sudden you've got a 4 spot on the board. So Pulley just going to throw a draw weight here. But if they have the opportunity and it just gets by the guard and the sweepers can get it onto the back one and move it a few inches, they'll be doing that. All right, here it is. This may be the shot of the game. It certainly can swing it. Being told that I'm jinxing things here. Sweeper's going hard. Going hard. Going hard. Going hard. Oh, just short. All right, score a 2. And all of a sudden we have a 2-point, or no, 6-3 after 6 ends of play. well, a much-needed deuce by Team Pulley. They would have loved to have had a little bit more on that one. Eric has noticed that Caitlin's last rock has been over-curling on a lot of cases, and that's something that players try and figure out before the event starts. They'll go out and take a look at which rocks are going to throw on which sheet and match them up and see the speed of each rock and whether the line is the same. And in most cases, certainly when you get to the national level and using national rocks, they're usually all pretty close, but there's still an outlier once in a while. And of course, once you get to club rocks, there's even a bigger chance that you might find a rock doing something different than the rest of the set. So Jason puts the valuable first rock on the center line, which he needs. Susan Dutt being asked to tick it off the center line. Looks like it's over curling a bit. Jason being asked to put a tighter guard on the center line this time. All right, so it didn't end up being a 3-guard, but a 1-guard is also very nice. It's always nice chatting with Eric Clausen here. He's been texting, and lots of times people that talk about scenarios. Would you rather be down 1 with hammer or up 1 without? In this case, Danny, while playing this end, comes down to the end. Would he rather take 1 or give up 1? And so taking 1, he'd be up 4 without hammer, and obviously giving up 1, he would have hammer, but he'd only be up by 2. Both scenarios, I would say, I think he'd be rather happy with at this point in time. So, a little surprising. We got 4 rocks pretty much out of in front of the house at this point in time, and one of them biting the rings for Team Casper. But certainly looks like somebody is probably going to end up scoring on this. Emily trying to come around. It's going to be a little light. Staggers. So decision time for Danny now. With 5 rocks out in front, he has a 3-point lead. And it looks like he's going to let Eli loose with peels once again. And I would say he doesn't really care which 2 rocks disappear here. He'd just like to see 2 rocks and plus the shooter disappear. So even if it's a blue and a red, I think he'd be okay with that. Just deciding which 2 he wants to get rid of. Going with the out turn. It is a pleasure watching Eli and his teammates throw at the men's nationals. Really did a great job. Well, this wasn't the outcome that he wanted. Basically replaced 1 rock with the shooter. We have a flock of geese lined up down there in a perfect V. I'd say right now, with still half the rocks to come, Team Pulley is happy that there's so many guards out here at this point in time. Looking for a promote here. Or actually, maybe, yeah, it's on the guard. Yeah. Still a lot of rocks out front. We'll see what Danny's doing now, whether he figures there's too many to start working on it. I like this. He's giving Eli another shot at making multiple disappear. Like this, he's not overthrowing it. Just nice peel weight. There you go. That's what you're talking about. Three rocks disappeared outside the four foot lines plus the shooter. I got a whole new end now. So we had handshakes over on sheet A. Team Creme taking the victory. I don't know what happened in the sixth end. The scoreboard is still at 10 to 1. That moves Team Creme up to an even 1-1 record now. They are one of the teams that had the bye. So still in the one-loss category, still in the hunt. All right. Jeff being asked to put another centerline guard up. Sweepers did not have to work hard on it. It does stop short of the rings. Nice centerline guard. And I think I see a pattern developing in the calls here. We've got guards going up and Peel's taking them off. Mission accomplished. All right, now that we're down to skip rocks, Caitlin electing to come around the two red rocks on the right-hand side of the sheet. Line's looking good. Sweeper's going hard. That's the guard. That's a mighty fine effort. So says the cowbell holders. But there is a corner peeking out. And Danny's putting the broom down with, it looks like it's going to be firm weight coming down. Not peel, but firm. Yeah, he's asking for a little more, so maybe bringing the weight down a little bit more. It's actually just throwing more of a control weight here. Yeah, throwing about a 10.5. Yeah, I had 10.2 on that, so it's sort of a control weight that over curled on him. But it does open it up. So Team Pulley looking at, do they just guard it, and indicating that they'd have the double run, and Team Pulley decides to save a little time on the clock and have called their 1 minute timeout. So, I mean, what are her options here? The trouble with just guarding this rock at this point in time would mean that at best case this ends, she takes 1, which means coming home she'd have to steal 2. One thing she might want to consider here is can she tick the rock to put it in behind the guards and have the shooter roll in behind the corner guard on the left. She needs 2 at some point. She's electing to come around. I mean, she could Christmas tree these rocks, try and bury another one under the same side, but Danny's going to pick out 1. But hey, you never know. Lie 2 and see what happens. Okay, rock's underway. Sweepers are gone. Again, this rock is moving way fast. Eric's observation that maybe this rock is just taking off. Well, unfortunately, it's not line 2. But it does guard the 1. We'll see what Danny's in sort of a good case here, as long as he doesn't promote the blue rock in. Gets back to what we were talking about before. Even if he gave up 1, he's up 2 with hammer. Pretty good scenario for him.
Basically play everybody around the table plays. He plays nope, but I played that before. That's fun too.
So you folks at home there, you can go back to that question I posed earlier. Would you rather be up 4 without or up 2 with? We'll find out which the case is going to be here in a second. Looks like Danny's preferring to be up 4 without. They're going for the draw too, the 4-foot.
So you can't talk to each other.
And that's the scenario.
Share the
I think I would take that scenario myself. Whether you have hammer or not, 4 is a pretty big hurdle to try and overcome. So 7-3 after 7 ends of play.
So like
We're only going to have one undefeated team in this competition with one more end to play.
Amazon River and like someone denied for Egypt. Amazon River's in Brazil.
Well, that was enough for Team Pulley to say, hey, the way you guys are shooting 4 points, even with hammer, is not something that we think we're going to be able to overcome. And the spirit of curling comes out, and handshakes happen. So congratulations to Team Danny Casper. That's well done. They're sitting on top of the leaderboard at 3-0, and Pulley drops down to 2-1. They're going to need some help now by someone else during this round robin to knock off this young junior team that certainly demonstrated excellent curling here today. Over on sheet B, it's tied up coming home. That's Team Mooney against Marashulo. And you can watch Curling Zone to figure out how that one ends. But for now, this is Wayne Anderson signing off from Rochester, the 2020 GNCC Mixed Playdowns. Winner going to Chaska, Minnesota, to the U.S. National Mixed Championship. Another draw coming up in a couple of hours. Not sure exactly when, but hope to see some of you viewers back then at that point in time. For now, good curling.
You want me to put a pebble on?